Thank you, Prabhuji.
Let us chant 3 times Hari Bol to welcome back Mahesh Prabhu.
Hari Bol.
Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Thank
Welcome,
you
Mahesh
so much,
Prabhu.
Mahesh Prabhu, for joining again. We
Hare
missed you a
Krishna.
lot. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
And we pray that, we all pray that you have good health and we can hear your realizations and you can join us. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Mataji, we have Amrita Madhvi Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. So I don't see her joining. So I will call her.
Yeah. If you can contact. Anybody else would like to announce their name? I see some iPhone. I don't know who that is.
It's iPhone is Mahesh Prabhu's phone.
Okay, that's Mahesh Prabhu. And anybody else would like to announce? Otherwise, we can just wait, chant, and concentrate on Srimad Bhagvatam that is coming up very soon. As soon as Mataji joins in. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram 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 Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji joining in a minute. So we'll chant then.
And also wishing everybody it's a very purifying day today, Ekadashi, coming right after Janmashtami.
Yes.
It's Anada Ekadashi.
Hmm.
So wishing everybody a nice Anada Ekadashi to follow and purify oneself and refrain from eating grains and enjoying Ekadashi Prasadam.
Happy Ekadashi to all of you.
Happy
Hare
Ekadashi.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram 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 Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram 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 Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram 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 Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram
Ram,
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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Amrita Bhavi Mataji, my Danat Pranam to you. Prabhat ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Can you hear me, Mataji?
Yes, please accept my
Okay.
humble obeisances. I forgot to get my specs. I'll get it. Just a minute. Please accept all of you. My humble obeisances and apologies for forgetting. My parents are here. I was talking and I forgot. I'm so sorry. I'm back with the specs.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. So today we are very fortunate to have Her Grace Amrita Madhvi Mataji enlightening us on this beautiful verses going on Srimad Bhagvatam, how Prahlad Maharaj is got enlightened in the womb of his mother. And this verse is also very interesting. I was just going through some verses as I missed some classes. And this is 7:19 and onwards. Mataji will enlighten us more and we can spiritualize our life more and more. Hare Krishna. Please take over, Mataji.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisheshonuad Paschatishtan Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Prasad Purva Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudirainte Nishtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloki Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Harihi Om Tatsat Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lankayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Harihi Om Tatsat. Yes, so we were doing 7th canto, 7th chapter, and we have to do the 19th verse today. I'm opening Subodhini as well. So, what Prahlad learned in the womb. In this, we have seen from 1st verse to 17th verse, we saw how the events leading to Kayadu's stay at Narada Muni's ashram. And from 1 to 17, the breakup is 1 to 7th verse. We saw when Hiranyakashipu was doing austerities, the demigods attacked the demons and arrested Kayadhu. Then 9th verse to 11th verse, I'm just reading it out. If you want, I will show you the book as well by turning the camera this way. Yes. So you can see 9th verse to 11th verse. We saw how Narada Muni stopped the demigods and said that the child in Kayadu's womb would be a great devotee. So demigods were about to kill Kayadu's baby, but they stopped. Narada Muni stopped. Then 12th verse to 17th verse. Merciful Narada brought Kayadhu to his ashram and spoke transcendental knowledge to the mother and the child in her womb. So after bringing Kayadhu to Narada Muni's ashram, Narada Muni spoke transcendental knowledge so that the baby Prahlad could hear in the mother's womb. So today is the 19th verse and 18th verse to 20th verse. The breakup is Jnana. means knowledge of spirit, soul, and transmigration. So, 18th verse to 24th verse, we will see the nature of the spirit soul. So, today we are going to do the 19th verse. Then, 25th verse to 28th verse, we will be seeing destroying the polluted material intelligence by Krishna consciousness. So, you see, material intelligence can be destroyed by Krishna consciousness. That will be explained from this verse to this verse, which we will not be doing today. I'm just reading out the breakup of this particular category. Today we are going to do the 19th verse. So the nature of spirit soul we are going to see. So let's see now. So 19th, and so this is from the book Bhagavad Subodhini by His Grace Gaurang Darshan Prabhu. Now I'm going to read out for you. 1 minute, let me turn the camera around. Canto 7, chapter 7, verses 19 and 20. आत्मनित्यो व्ययः शुद्ध एकक्षेत्रज्ञाश्रयः अविक्रिया स्वदृग्हेतुर्व्यापको संज्ञानावृतः एतैर्द्वादशभिर्विद्वान् आत्मनो लक्षणैः परैः अहं ममेति असद्भावं देहादौ मोहजं त्यजेत्. So, Canto 7, Chapter 7, text 19 and 20, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Atma refers to the Supreme Lord or the living entities. Both of them are spiritual, free from birth and death, free from deterioration, and free from material contamination. They are individual, they are the knowers of the external body, and they are the fountain or shelter of everything. They are free from material change. They are self-illuminated. They are the cause of all causes, and they are all-pervading. They have nothing to do with the material body, and therefore they are always uncovered. With these transcendental qualities, one who is actually learned must give up the illusory conception of life in which one thinks, I am this material body, and everything in relationship with this body is mine. So there are some short footnotes, and it says number 1 indicates, number 1 means here Ashraya, the original foundation. That's a word to a translation. Prabhupada has given, I'll show in the camera, I'll rotate it for you. 1 minute. See, there is number 2 here, and there is number 1 here. So the footnote is here. Footnote, which I am now going to read for you. Without the shelter of the spirit soul, the material body cannot exist. Number 1 says that without the shelter of spirit soul, the material body cannot exist. Then number 2, as already explained, the fruits and flowers of a tree take birth, exist, grow, transform, dwindle, and die according to seasonal changes, but the tree, through all these changes, remains the same. Similarly, the Atma is free from all changes. Then number 3, one does not need to make the soul prominent. It is automatically prominent. One can very easily understand that in the living body there is a spirit soul. So these are some footnotes just for your understanding I showed to you. Now we will go to the purport. I will turn the camera again back to me. Yes. So in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 7, Lord clearly says, Mamaivamsho Jivaloke Jiva Bhutaha, means all the living entities are part of me. Therefore, the living entities are qualitatively the same as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the leader and supreme among all living entities. In the Vedas, it is said, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam, means the Lord is the chief individual living entity, the leader of the subordinate living entities. Means the Lord is the chief individual living entity, the leader of the subordinate living entities. Because the living entities are parts or samples of God, their qualities are not different from those of Supreme Lord. The living entities have the same qualities as the Lord, just as a drop of seawater is composed of same chemicals as the great sea itself. Thus, there is oneness in quality, but a difference in quantity. One can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by understanding the sample, the living entity, because all the qualities of God exist in a minute quantity in the living entities. There is oneness, but God is great, whereas the living entities are extremely small. Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan says Katha Upanishad 1.2.20. The living entities are smaller than the atom, but God is greater than the greatest. Our conception of greatness may be represented by the sky because we think of the sky as being unlimitedly big, but God is bigger than the sky. Similarly, we have knowledge that the living entities are smaller than atoms. Being 1/10,000 the size of the tip of a hair, yet the quality of being the supreme cause of all causes exists in living entities as well as in the supreme personality of Godhead. Indeed, it is due to the presence of living entity that the body exists and bodily changes take place. Similarly, it is because the Supreme Lord is within this universe that the changes dictated by material laws occur. The word ekaha, meaning individual, is significant. As explained in Bhagavad Gita, Matstani sarva bhutani na chaham teshva avastitaha, means everything material and spiritual, including earth, water, air, fire, sky, and the living entities, exist on the platform of spirit soul. Although everything is an emanation from Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should not think that the Supreme Lord is dependent on anything else. Both God and living entities are fully conscious. As living entities, we are conscious of our bodily existence. Similarly, Lord is conscious of gigantic cosmic manifestation. This is confirmed in the Vedas. Yasmin Dyahu Prithivi Cha Antariksham Vijnataram Vijnataram Dhikena Vijnaniyat Ekam Eva Dvitiyam Atmajyotihi Samral Ihovacha Sa Iman Lokan Asrjata Satyam Jnanam Anantam Asango Hya Ayam Purushaha Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevava Shishyate. All these Vedic injunctions prove that both the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the minute soul are individual. One is great and the other is small, but both of them are the cause of all causes, the corporally limited and the universally unlimited. We should always remember that although we are equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in quality, we are never equal to Him in quantity. Persons with a small fund of intelligence, finding themselves equal in quantity with God, foolishly think that they are equal in quantity also. Their intelligence is called Avishuddha Buddhayaha, unpolished or contaminated intelligence. When such persons, after endeavoring hard for many lives to understand the supreme cause, are finally in actual knowledge of Krishna, Vasudeva, they surrender unto him. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabhaha. Thus they become great Mahatmas, perfect souls. If one is fortunate enough to understand his relationship with God, knowing that God is great, whereas the living entity is small, he is perfect in knowledge. The individual exists in darkness when he thinks that he is the material body and that everything in relationship with the material body belongs to him. I repeat, the individual exists in darkness when he thinks that he is material body and that everything in relationship with material body belongs to him. This is called aham mama. Chanasya mohoyam aham mameti. This is illusion. One must give up his illusory conception and thus become fully aware of everything. So you see, here, as we had told from Bhagavad Subodhini, it's talking about the spirit soul and also about God and the comparison between Krishna and the spirit soul. And Prabhupada quotes a particular verse from Bhagavad Gita where it says that Mama eva amsho, jiva loke, jiva bhutaha. Means Mama eva amsho jiva loke, jiva bhuto sanatana is the verse lines. So it means that all these jiva bhutas, all these living entities are, Krishna is saying, Mama eva amsha. They are my own parts and parcels. That's the first line. And the last line is talking about the fact is that we are Krishna's part and parcel. Prabhupada starts like that. And then he says the contradiction, like how we think that I am the body. We don't think that I am Krishna's. We think this body is me and this body is mine. And what are related to this body is also mine, me and mine. When in actuality, we are Krishna's. And whatever we possess is Krishna's. Like our body is Krishna's property, Krishna given property. Our body's relatives are also Krishna given relatives. So instead of understanding uh, that we are Krishna's, we are thinking that I am this body and the children of this body, the grandchildren of this body, uh, and the parents of this body are also mine, me and mine. How I can make some good experience for me and for my family, not for my Krishna, like that. So we should understand that we are Krishnas. To understand that we are Krishnas is fact. It's factual. But to understand whatever is Krishna given property as my own and whatever is related to this body as also my own is illusion. So this contradiction is highlighted by Prabhupada. He also explains that whatever qualities we have the need to say, I did it. I uh, I organized this. This belongs to me, and I can do it. Means I am the cause of this end result. I am the cause. This is what we want to say because that is Krishna's quality. Krishna is actually the cause of all causes. Krishna, whatever qualities we have is very minute, and Krishna has all the qualities in full. So we have it, says Prabhupada. So Krishna is ocean, and we are ocean's drops. So chemical properties of the ocean and chemical properties of the drop of the ocean are same. But ocean can produce waves, and the drop of ocean, that is we cannot. Means he has the power to create. We don't even have the power to create a child. So when Krishna gives, we get. If Krishna does not give, no matter what we do, we don't get a child. So we cannot create even one child. But Krishna is creating all the Mama Eva Amsho Jiva. He has created all the children of his in varieties of living entities, forms, like that. So this was all about saying how the soul does not die and how the soul is a part of Krishna and how the soul has the qualities which actually Krishna has and how the soul has everything in a small form whereas Krishna has everything in ocean-like form. So it was just a comparison verse of us and Krishna. So we move to the next verse. Next verse is also very big. Let's do this one verse and then we stop because I want to do only a short class today. 21st verse. स्वर्णं यथा ग्रावशु हेमकारा क्षेत्रेषु योगैस्तदभिज्ञ आप्नुयात् क्षेत्रेषु देहेषु ततात्मयोगैर् आध्यात्मविद् ब्रह्म गतिं लभेत. Canto 7, Chapter 7, Text 22, Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. An expert geologist can understand where there is gold and by various processes can extract it from the gold ore. Similarly, a spiritually advanced person can understand how the spiritual particle exists within the body, and thus, by cultivating spiritual knowledge, he can attain perfection in spiritual life. However, as one who is not expert cannot understand where there is gold, a foolish person who has not cultivated spiritual knowledge cannot understand how the spirit exists within the body. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 7, Text 22, purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Here's a very good example concerning spiritual understanding. Foolish rascals, including so-called jnanis, philosophers, and scientists, cannot understand the existence of the soul within the body because they are lacking in spiritual knowledge. The Vedas enjoin tad vijnanartham sa gurum evabhibhagachet. To understand spiritual knowledge, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master. Unless one has been trained in geology, one cannot detect gold in stone. Similarly, unless one has been trained by a spiritual master, he cannot understand what is spirit and what is matter. Here it is said, Yogais tad abhijnaha. This indicates that one who has connected himself with spiritual knowledge can understand that there is a spirit soul within the body. I repeat, this indicates that one who has connected himself with spiritual knowledge can understand that there is a spirit soul within the body. However, one who is in an animalistic conception of life and has no spiritual culture cannot understand. And as an expert mineralogist or geologist can understand where there is gold and can then invest his money to dig there and chemically separate the gold from the ore, an expert spiritualist can understand where the soul is within matter. One who has not been trained cannot distinguish between gold and stone. Similarly, fools and rascals who have not learned from the expert spiritual master what is soul and what is matter cannot understand the existence of the soul within the body. To understand such knowledge, one must be trained in mystic yoga system, or finally in the Bhakti Yoga system. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter 55th verse, Bhaktyamam abhijanati means unless one takes shelter of Bhakti Yoga process, one cannot understand the existence of the soul within the body. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita begins by teaching Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tata dehandhara praptes dhirat tatra numuhyati, means as the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. Bhagavad Gita 2.13. Thus, the first instruction is that one should understand that the soul is within the body and is transmigrating from one body to another. This is the beginning of spiritual knowledge. Any person who is not expert in understanding this science and is unwilling to understand it remains in the bodily conception of life or in the animalistic conception of life, as confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yasyatma buddhi punape tridhaduke sa eva gokaraha. Every member of human society should clearly understand the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, for only in this way one can be spiritually elevated and automatically give up the false illusory knowledge by which one thinks, I am this body and everything belonging to this body is mine. Aham mameti. This doggish conception should be rejected immediately. One should be prepared to understand the spirit soul and the supreme spirit God, who are eternally related. Thus one may return home back to Godhead, having solved all the problems of life. So you see here again, a beautiful example is given here in the translation itself. The example is how a geologist can identify gold in the rock, in the ore, gold ore. My brother is a geologist and he is able to tell, he has told in some places that here if we dig, we will get water, you know. And they did get it. I am surprised. I don't know whether it worked only in two places and later on if he tried, he would get it or not. Well, I always get a doubt, but even Srimad Bhagavatam says so, we should not doubt. that a geologist can tell where is gold. Geologist can identify the difference between the rocks. And I can ask my brother if he understands where there is gold. But it's a very big process to extract it. Just like a spiritually advanced soul who has been trained properly understands that I am the soul and there is body around me. There is subtle body around me and gross body around me. A spiritually advanced soul understands. And a spiritual beginner says that I'm inside the body. I'm inside the body. My teacher had told the difference between one who says I'm inside the body and one who says body is around me is that one who is on the platform of body, he speaks through the body. Like I am inside this body. Means body is your more emphasis and I'm inside this like that. But a person who is on the platform of soul, he says this body is around me, obstructing my services. His body is around me. Is because he feels like a soul. So he feels everything as apart from the soul. He feels the body is around. It's one and the same thing, but that's how you can identify when people talk about the body. Um, I usually say I'm inside the body. So you see, people who are really self-realized, they'll say, "This body is around me," that is a spiritually advanced person understands that he is the soul and is different from body. Just like a geologist understands that in this rock I can extract gold. Uh, so Prabhupada first speaks all these things, and he says that that unless we take shelter of Bhakti Yoga, we cannot understand. Now, okay, we spoke about the advanced people that they know that they are the soul, they're not the body. But how to come to that point of understanding that we are the soul and we're not the body? And further, one step ahead, how to understand we're not just soul, but we're a part and parcel, separated part and parcel of Krishna's body. How to understand? For that, Prabhupada explains in the purport, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. Means we can understand about ourselves and about Krishna only by doing devotional service. So unless one takes, Prabhupada says, unless one takes shelter of Bhakti Yoga process, one cannot understand the existence of the soul within the body. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita begins by teaching as the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth, youth to old age, soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a shame. So, the next thing is that what happens to such a self-realized soul who knows that he is not the body? What happens to him? He will not be bewildered by the change of a body. How when the soul leaves the body and enters into another body. A self-realized soul will not be bewildered. Now the question comes, I was watching other day Gaur Gopal Prabhu's Some Beautiful Hearts or something like that, one episode had come. And in that, how Gaur Gopal Prabhu says, here very dearest one brahmachari went for Manasa Sarovara Yatra with the team of people, and the entire team met with air crash and all of them went back to Godhead. So Gaurgopal Prabhu, when he says that, his eyes filled with tears. And he says, just because we cry remembering the past, I don't become less spiritual, he said. Because we have to understand that we have to undergo some emotions. Emotions are different and being spiritual is different. Even if we're spiritual, sometimes Krishna will make us undergo some things. Then we have to undergo. He said that. So I'm adding that point here that when we say a person who is self-realized is not bewildered by such a change, it does not mean that he is heartless. If he's a bhakti yogi, why do we say bhakti yogi is para dukkha dukhi? Another person's pain is our pain. Why? Means we do feel pain. Devotees do feel pain. And we do feel pain of the others. But we may rejoice for other people's success. Parasukha Sukhi. Devotees are Parasukha Sukhi and Paradukha Dukhi. So devotees may not get bewildered when they see a soul leaving the body and going to another body, but they also do feel pain and they undergo it and then they come out of it using the same philosophy. And what is the philosophy? I am not the body. I am temporary guest inside this body, and once my duty with this body is complete, then we are supposed to leave our bodies. So this much clarity when we have, it just like how we leave our body and go, even the others also have come to do their duties. When their duty is over, they will leave their body and go. So there's nothing to get worried. We understand it intellectually, but somehow mind cries. And it is very natural for the mind to cry. But devotees may cry for a while and then they get over it by using their intelligence. So recently I was hearing Gaurang Dashan Prabhu's class on Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter, wherein he was talking about how to control the mind. And he said mind can be controlled always by intelligence and senses. Like suppose if we want to give up moong dal halwa, he said this example. If I don't want to eat moong dal halwa, and if that is my favorite, when it comes in front of me next time, then we have to use our intelligence to say, oh, this moong dal halwa, I was a big fan, I was an addict. If I eat, I'll put on weight, and if I put on weight, then I struggle to get up and walk, and how I will do Govardhan Parikrama. Think like that. I mean, good reasoning, use the intelligence and its reasoning power and use the senses to not eat. This way we can control the mind, he was saying. So, so even devotees can have their disturbances, but they have to use their intelligence to control their mind. And then he said the easier way of controlling the mind is to engage the mind in Krishna's service. Suppose if we get busy cooking, then we may not have time to come and eat in between moong dal halwa, etc. So we can control our mind by using our intelligence. So we have to sharpen our intelligence. So with the help of intelligence, we can control our mind. Anyway, here the topic is that how a soul gets different bodies and it finally leaves the body and goes, and we don't have to get worried about that. In the same why? Because we are soul and we have come here in this body just for a short purpose. It's just that we gave good experience for someone and someone gave us good experience. So when they leave the body, then it becomes little heavy for us to take. So every member of human society should clearly understand the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, for only in this way one can be spiritually elevated and automatically give a false illusory knowledge by which one thinks I am this body and everything belonging to this body is mine. So here it's clearly told, and also I was learning in fifth canto that all the mistakes we commit is out of ignorance, and ignorance is due to the big false ego that we have. Means because we think that I am so and so, I am this body, I am this mind, I am so and so. So because of this false ego, we want to think I and what belongs to me is my, and my things and my people should do the way I desire. So I and my puts us in a ditch. Means this I and my is false ego, and false ego is also ignorance. And as long as we are in deep well of ignorance, it is very difficult for us to not commit mistakes due to illusory feelings that we have about I and my. So how to get out? It's only by being Krishna conscious, by understanding I am the servant of my spiritual master, I am Krishna's servant, I am servant of a nice devotee. So thinking like this, we can actually come out of this I, my business of false ego. So Prabhupada calls it as a doggish conception should be rejected immediately. He says it's I and my is doggish mentality. Why? Because dogs say bow 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 bow. If somebody comes bow 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 bow, they start barking. Is this my house? My house, get out, get out. Very envious. That is to think of me, my house, don't come here. This is doggish mentality, and it's fit for dogs, not fit for humans. We have to give up and we have to understand everything, including the house where we stay, is Krishna's. And Krishna has mercifully given us this body and this home and this family and these relatives. So I have to do my best to take care of these people, God given people, take care of God-given property in a nice way in service of Krishna. If we think like that, this doggish mentality can be given up. How to think? To think that this all is gift of Krishna's and I am satisfied with Krishna, what he has given me. First thing is that we should know it's Krishna. Second thing is we should be satisfied in the condition that Krishna has put us in. And third thing is we should think how I can use all this in Krishna's service and start using in Krishna's service. So then Prabhupada says one should be prepared to understand the spirit soul and the supreme spirit God who are eternally related. Thus one may return home back to God. Means if we understand that everything is Krishna given and I will do everything to please Krishna, I'll do all services to please Krishna. If we are always thinking of Krishna like this and always doing all duties to please Krishna, then we can go back home, back to Godhead. So this was the thing. Actually, I had come for resting. I'm closing my eyes and speaking. So today I'm going to wind up. These are the three verses Krishna somehow managed through me. I'm very grateful to Krishna for speaking it out. These are basic concepts. If there are some beginners who have doubts, you can ask questions. Otherwise, we'll end the call. I will rest a bit and get up to do some more rounds of japa. Thank you so much for tolerating me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Madanat Pranam to you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. So Mataji, I really enjoyed your class today. I missed a couple of your classes and I keep thinking that, oh, I hope it is not Mataji's class. Then, I will miss it because of some material duties and situations. Just cannot join in the morning. I was not even here traveling too. So I really like that point you mentioned about how normally in an hierarchy, we see that there are senses, then there is intelligence, there is senses, mind, together kind of 5, then intelligence, and then there is soul, and then there is super soul, Atma Paramatma, right? But with the example that you gave of Gaur Gadhar, I don't know who it was, some Gopal Prabhu?
Gaurang Darshan Prabhu.
Gorak Darshan Prabhu. You gave an example that he's saying that the lower intelligence and senses have to be utilized to maintain to control the mind. But Mataji, the mind is also material and it is so much connected to the senses. So it's a very interesting point that how the other senses, the 5 senses we have, and right now we're detaching the mind from it, right? And those 5 senses and the intelligence, we're going to use it to control the mind. Which is like, although we know that mind is also sense. So, and of course, the Atma Paramatma at a different level, but all these things in the lower level are being utilized to control our control our senses and everything together. So can you elaborate a little bit more on this aspect? Because, it is kind of little bit hard to understand because, I'm still struggling with it. That's why.
I understand. I heard it again and again, whatever Gaurang Darshan Prabhu said. So I know it very clearly, though I am a bit sleepy, but I know very clearly what said, and it could make sense to me because I was sick with cold and fever, and somebody from Russia, Russian devotee in Japa retreat last year, she had told us coughing like anything with tears coming down. She said, "Stop eating rice and dal. You'll get cured. For 15 days, no rice, no dal. Eat only vegetables, bland, boiled vegetables." Now, my mind said, hey, we came here for these people will tell, but I came here to hear lecture and eat nice prasad. And just because I felt sick, I should stop eating all the prasad and eat just bland vegetables? No way. So, Bhakti and I, we both were badly sick in the whole hall. We were the worst because we were coughing with tears, coughing and so much tears, and we had to leave the hall. It would disturb our class, but still we never stopped eating. And then when Bhishma Panchaka came, there was option whether we should eat fruit diet or anukalpa prasad or just nothing, podang, go-urine, that is the first level. So I chose to go for the second level, and we went to Mayapur also. And there again we fell sick with cold. Wherever we go, we get this cold, nasty cold. And it really tortures us, really. Because we don't diet, we eat nicely. Because our mind says eat, and these senses eat. But this time, after we suffered nicely in Vrindavan, and anyway, Bishnu Panchaka, we had gone there to go for root fruit diet. So we thought, let's start cutting down on rice, and we started eating more of fruits even little before, and we just stuck to the diet for 5 days. And in those 5 days, we got such nice resistance without rice and dal. So this was intelligence got sharpened. See, the knowledge what was already told to us through our ears, when we personally did it, we got the result. That now this time when I fell sick with cold and cough and fever, and then I just thought, oh, okay, now again I should go for fruit diet. And I got fever also. So we started just we were eating root and fruit, but when I got fever, I could not eat root also. I was just okay to eat juicy fruits like musumbi and oranges and pomegranate and tender coconut. That's all. So we were just eating that for 4 days or 5 days. I had fever and pain. My God, it was terrible. And you see that a mind also is suffering, and mind is not able to say that I want to eat this also clearly. And intelligence is saying, see, last time you ate and you suffered for months. Now don't eat. Now, if you want to get rid, just eat fruit diet and get out. And then when fever came, then I was not able to eat root also. Aloo was boiled and we never ate. Both Bhakti didn't eat, I didn't eat. We both were sick at the same time. And then we just ate fruits. So then in 1 week's time, I'm weighing 3 kg down. You can see my face. I reduced 3 kg, 3 kg from 72 to 68. Down, even my stomach, I had so much height of stomach, it reduced to this much excess only. But I'm saying is that much I reduced, and I was so surprised. So now it is my intelligence. Mind says, now when I come and when I cook here in this house, what happens is that it's a little big house, and when I do all the exercise of mopping and when I do the cooking, then I do feel tempted when I cook for others. I have got my guests, my parents are here, and yesterday my sister and sister's husband was there, and tomorrow some devotees from Mayapur are coming for a wedding, and they're going to stay with us. So what happened is that I am telling my intelligence before they come. The Mayapur devotees are having a small baby also, 2-3 month baby. So if I should not cough when baby comes, then I should get well soon. So I should not eat rice. I'm trying to avoid, but when I cook for others, I'm eating a little. But this is the intelligence telling, don't eat. Mind says I want to eat. Intelligence says don't eat. You have to get well soon. The minute intelligence says don't eat, tongue does not eat. Senses are inferior, right? Tongue does not eat. And so that is why, yes, mind is above the senses. So mind should be, and if mind is saying something, then senses should do. But since intelligence is sharper, it's above the mind. It is like this. You see, you have a maid servant at home, and you are the wife. And suppose if you are not going for a job, and if your husband is going to pay the maid servant in the house, and you are above the maid servant, and your husband is above you, and your husband's parents are above your husband. Okay, so at that time, you will tell the maid servant to clean up the house, and maid will start cleaning. At that time, your husband will say, no, please stop the cleaning today, because I have somebody coming to see our outside of the house, because we're going to sell the land. They'll not see inside the house, they see the outside property. So please, today don't mop inside the house, do the cleaning outside the house. Then what happens? You wanted the inside to be cleaned, your husband wants the outside to be cleaned, because he's the one who is paying and he is demanding, and you are dependent financially on your husband. So, though the maid servant is inferior to you, maid servants can be controlled by someone more superior to you. If she can be maid means senses. If senses can be controlled by the mind, senses can as well be controlled by the intelligence, who is more superior to the mind. So, intelligence and senses team up to control the mind. Mind says eat, eat, and senses will be the ones who eat, but intelligence says don't eat. This is going to make you put on weight, and then you won't be able to do all the work. So don't do it. Then mind is unhappy, but senses will not eat. When intelligence is more powerful and strong, senses will listen to the intelligence. Thereby, mind's dictations will just remain as dictations, and senses are not going to listen to it. This is my practical realization these days, dear Mataji. Yes, I am coughing. Tomorrow they are coming from Mayapur. And what I am doing today is I took a heap of teaspoon of turmeric, and I swallowed it with very little water in the morning. Then again I took one more dose. Now after lunch again I took one more dose. And after this class again I'll take one more dose. And at night I'll take one more dose. So tomorrow morning one more dose. So tomorrow evening they are coming. Before that I think I will be much better. So this is how we can use intelligence. See, I don't like to eat turmeric powder, but my intelligence says eat it so that tomorrow the devotee baby is going to come and you won't be infecting. So therefore, mind has to shut up. Mind says I don't like the taste, but who is going to listen to the mind? When intelligence says this is going to work, so please eat it. Senses will take it. The hands will take it. Working senses are my hands. Working senses are my legs. They will walk according to the dictations of the intelligence, and they will put the turmeric and they will drink the water, and mind is a silent spectator. Mind is helpless where intelligence is strong. So the whole goal that Bhagavad Gita teaches us is make your intelligence very sharp by always hearing scriptures from practicing devotees, and then you also try to practice. So this is going to help, because if intelligence is sharp, intelligence will dictate to the senses. And see, sometimes for men, it's a most known thing that Prabhupada says that if a very beautiful wife is sleeping next to a man, and still if he is very controlled, then that is the highest standard. So how mind can say that my wife is beautiful, but intelligence will say no. Sex life is only for procreation, and she is not my object for enjoyment. She is Krishna's property. So I should just respectfully deal with her. If I want a child, I should go for it. Otherwise, now I don't need a child. I already have 2 children. So all I have to do is I have to see her as Krishna's, and just sleep to give rest to this body, so that tomorrow I can get up and do my service. Like this, if a man is able to control the mind using the sharp intelligence and just to follow Krishna's order, and if we can control our mind by sharp intelligence, by our past bad experiences, if we can tell to our mind, don't do it, it's not going to be good for you, you're going to suffer more in the health, don't eat this. So if we insist on diet restrictions intellectually, then senses will listen to the intelligence. So this way we can control the mind, dear Mataji. I hope that helps. If it's clear, then we can wind up the class today.
Yes.
Because I want to.
So much for the wonderful example. And also something we read about the tree, right? The tree stays stable and seasonally it's giving fruit. So the tree is like compared to the soul. That's what you were reading, right?
Something I read. Yeah, I want to go back to that 1 minute. That
So,
was, I think.
very nice.
Nine-
I've heard. I didn't hear this example before, so I thought I'll hear it from you a little bit more. So it's so wonderful to hear that. Haribo, Hare Krishna.
Somebody was speaking. I'm waiting for them to speak.
Okay.
Peter B. is currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the tone.
Yeah, I
When you
think
have finished, please hang up or press the pound key for more options.
everybody needs to mute their phone. Mataji.
Good morning, Peter. Peter, this is SK. Peter, thank you very much for your e-memo. But it is still not there on the CCOM, and if you have any problem uploading on the CCOM, we can discuss. You can give me a call.
You have to mute.
And I'm in the office. We can talk on the team meeting.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Nikunjaras Prabhu.
Yeah, I muted Mataji.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, please go ahead. No problem. I muted Surendra Bhandari. Yeah, he was speaking.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhuji, I was about to tell you, but I'm on the other phone when the other phone is somewhere else. My regular phone. I'm on the other India phone. So, not able to tell you immediately.
Yeah.
Where is Mataji?
I'm here. I'm looking for that tree example, but where is it? I'm not able to find it. The tree thing.
Mataji,
If
I
somebody-
also wanted to tell you that maybe you can do a lot of boiled ginger in water and have. It's good for your throat. Boil for 5 minutes.
Okay, I will do that, Mataji. I was eating ginger strips salted. I was putting it. It was a bit slow for me, however. Maybe if I boil and drink, it will help. In the past, I used to do that. And I would do many things, so I didn't know what was helping. That one thing I didn't do this time, now you are saying, so I will do that as well, Mataji.
Thank
So,
you.
Mataji, I'm really sorry. This was not connected to today's verse. Because I missed some classes, so in the morning I was reading, and I thought 17th is the verse, and that the example is there of the tree, how the tree withers away, but it stands and gives seasonal fruits and stuff like that. So there was some comparison which is very interesting. I thought, and it is not connected to 19th verse. I just got
Yeah.
my mind was stuck on that. The verses in the beginning.
That one, is it the 17th verse you're saying? In that I don't find the tree thing. Oh, it's the 18th, Mataji. 18th. That is-
Yeah,
Huh.
the
Just as fruits and flowers of a tree in due course of time undergo 6 changes: birth, existence, growth, transformation, dwindling, and death, the material body, which is obtained by the spirit soul under different circumstances, undergoes similar changes. However, there are no changes for spirit soul. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. This is very important verse in understanding the difference between spirit soul and material body. The soul is eternal, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 2.20. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्य शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने sharire. For the soul there is never birth or death, nor having once been does he ever cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. The spirit soul is eternal, being freed from waste and change, which take place because of the material body. The example of tree and its fruits and flowers is very simple and clear. A tree stands for many, many years, but with the seasonal changes, its fruits and flowers undergo 6 transformations. The foolish theory of modern chemists that life can be produced by chemical interactions cannot be accepted as truth. The birth of a living being's material body takes place due to mixture of the ovum and semen, but the history of birth is that although the ovum and semen mix together after sex, there is not always pregnancy. Unless the soul enters the mixture, there is no possibility of pregnancy. But when the soul takes shelter of the mixture, body takes birth, exists, grows, transforms, and dwindles, and ultimately it is vanquished. The fruits and flowers of a tree seasonally come and go, but the tree continues to stand. Similarly, the transmigrating soul accepts various bodies, which undergo 6 transformations, but the soul remains permanently the same. Here, soul is compared to the tree. Okay, then. Ajo nitya shashvatoyam purano nahanyate hanyamane sharire. The soul is eternal and ever existing, but the bodies accepted by soul are changing. There are 2 kinds of soul: the supreme soul, personality of God, and the individual soul, the living entity. As various bodily changes take place in the individual soul, different millenniums of creation takes place in the supreme soul. In this regard, Madhvacharya says, Shadvikara sharirasya na vishnos tadgatasya cha tad adhinam shariranam cha jnatva tan mamatam tyajet. Since the body is the external feature of the soul is not dependent on the body. Rather, bodies depend on the soul. One who understands this truth should not be very much anxious about the maintenance of his body. There is no possibility of maintaining the body permanently or eternally. Antavanta ime deha nityasyokta sharirinaha. This is the statement of Bhagavad Gita 2.18. The material body is antavat, perishable, but the soul within the body is eternal, nityasyokta, sharirinaha. Lord Vishnu and individual souls who are part and parcel of him are both eternal. Nityo Nityanam Chetana Chetnanam. Lord Vishnu is the chief living being, whereas individual living entities are parts of Lord Vishnu. All the various grades of bodies, from gigantic universal body to the small body of an ant, are perishable, but the Supreme Soul and Soul, being equal in quality, both exist externally. This is further explained in the exposition. See, it's nothing but a very clear-cut explanation that soul does not die, body does. We leave the body, we leave the dying body, and we enter into another body, a soul. It's like the tree. Tree sometimes dies in one sense when it sheds all the leaves, sheds all the. It will be just looking like a dead skeleton. In America, many trees are there which drop the leaves, which drop everything. And when winter comes, then everything, or rain is, autumn, I think, all nice leaves come up, and leaves also look so red and pink and things like that, right? In America, you have such trees. So it's like as if the here soul is compared to the skeleton of the tree, the branch, and body is compared to the leaves and flowers and fruits. So tree gives up the leaves and flowers and fruits, and then it gets next set of leaves and flowers and fruits. Then again in the next season it sheds all of them, and it becomes without leaves and flowers and fruits. Then in the next season again it develops new leaves and new flowers and new fruits. Just like how the soul develops the body and it exists and it byproducts produces, and then it dies, dwindles and dies. Tree also produces leaves and fruits and flowers, and then all the leaves die, all fruits drop, all flowers drop. And then again in the next season, it will again give rise to leaves like that. Our soul also keeps entering into bodies, and the bodies also, like those leaves, will one day dwindle and it will leave like the leaf, and soul goes into another body, just like tree develops another set of leaves in the next season. That's the explanation, dear Mataji. Is that clear now?
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Because, Mataji, one question used to come to my mind related to this tree and the existence is that when the winter used to come, I see a couple of trees here, they become completely like, the whole tree becomes gray with branches. It's like a haunted tree. So at that time, I used to wonder that, and when the spring came, or like little warmer weather, suddenly they'll spring up. But then some trees, they don't, so that means that tree is so, what to speak of human being who has intelligence and mind, the tree which is standing in one place goes through such a bad weather, still the soul is retained inside because the soul is there in the tree. Then all these things are again coming. Like, so much powerful the tree is, all this shedding everything. So, like, so from Bhagavatam, I got the answer now. So whenever I see this tree in a condition of winter condition, I have to understand that still the soul is there. The soul is not gone away. But sometimes it happens, Mataji, even like the tulsi plant we have at home, some of the tulsi plant, they suddenly, the leaves dwindle. And then we see that we come to know that this is not going to stay. However much water we give, how much shade we give, sunlight, everything. When it has to go, it has to go. That means the soul has gone away. Right, Mataji?
Tulsi Mataji is like that only. Even in
Yeah.
our house, I
Yeah.
had 12 Tulsi Maharanis, and insects or fungal infection, something or the other will come. They're so delicate, my God. One little sickness is enough, they're half dead. Then we try to clean them up and try to water them, and no matter what you do, again another sickness, another 2, 3 times it comes, means then finished. Tulsi Maharani is so difficult. It's a challenge too. Now I don't have anyone Tulsi Maharani. Recently, my husband went for a function and they gifted Tulsi Maharani. So now we have two, because our relatives also came and gave that Tulsi Maharani to us, and my husband also got. So now I have two, but I am really worried now. We have to really take care so that insects don't come. But they do come from somewhere. They do come. Tulsi Maharani is not like other trees. Other trees, even if they shed all the leaves, they still develop new leaves. Very surprising. Tulsi Maharani doesn't develop like that, Mataji. She is very delicate.
Yes, Mataji. And Mataji, like one Mataji told me that always keep on growing small tulsis all year round. So that tulsi plant will be then in a baby form, So that way, when it grows a little bit big and becomes oversized from the pot, then you can have another tulsi plant you can worship. So I'm always growing these small babies, and sometimes so that way my count is a lot when I keep. And nowadays, sometimes they just, if you don't pluck the manjaris, they fall down and they next to a big plant, they start growing. So I just don't stop that because I'm also very insecure that, this big plant will suddenly go away. So at least I have the babies, like that to be with me. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. Thank you for
Yes,
explaining.
we tried it once. There were many were there in the pot, and I never got time to transplant. So again, it became survival the fittest like thing for all Tulsi Maharanis in one pot. So many of them. So we like to grow, but not more. Hand pick 2, 3. We wish to grow small baby plants and take care of them nicely. Maybe that you will also face. So be very careful when you have many. Try to transplant them somewhere else, or else when they grow big, then it will be difficult to transplant also. That's all. I think we will end the class
Thank
now.
you, Mataji, and thank you for doing the verse, which I think others must have already read about the tree, which I was just wanted to hear from you. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare,
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare
Can we
Krishna.
end now?
Mataji, Dandavat
Yes,
Pranam.
Mataji. Thank you so much for this nectar class. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful.
Partha Prabhu's there. We won't let Mataji go.
Sorry about that. And Mataji, thanks for this nectarian class, your kind association. For your cough, I think the cough is there in the chest also. For that Vasaka leaves, if you have, you can boil and have it. Vasaka leaves powder, that will be good. And as the Gita Mataji was saying, for the throat congestion, honey and ginger and black pepper powder would be good. Concoction.
Okay. Vata Khalif, I do not know what is that. I have to check.
Vasaka.
VATAKA.
No, VASAKA.
Vasaka.
Vasaka. Vasaka.
VASA, like Vasuki, Vasaka.
Yeah, Vasaki, like Vasaka, yes.
Okay, I do
That is
not
for
know
the
that.
chest congestion.
Okay.
I
will check.
have it, my son also, I gave it to my son also. So both, it works for both.
You get in Ayurvedic shop?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's generally rare. Generally, in our
You
Bengal
grow?
area, they grow it, and it's a tree. Otherwise, in America, you get it by a powder form. Yeah, I think in the Ayurvedic,
I have to Google it. I have not heard of this name, Vasuka, no?
Vasaka.
Vasaka. Okay. I will check for this. Google it and see if I can get it. The leaves, I have to boil.
Prabhuji, you can send a picture to Mataji.
Yeah, I can Amazon.com. I don't know. Maybe Amazon.in also, it may be there.
Okay, we will buy it from Vasaka. I noted down the name. Vasaka powder, what we should do? We should boil it and drink, huh?
If you have leaves, but leaf form may not be there, then boiling. Otherwise, Vasaka leaves, you can just have it with honey, ginger, or black pepper. A general kind of, you can make a kada, right? You make it kada like that.
Right.
We don't know what is kada. We are South Indians, no, Prabhu? Honey, ginger, black pepper, we can mix and eat if it is in powder form, right?
Yeah. Boil it and have it.
Boil it. Okay.
No, you can have in powder form.
Yeah, I just Googled it. What is the use of Vasaka? It is used as a cure for skin disease, wounds, toothache, and acidity. It is also helps in cough, piles, constipation, jaundice, and gout. Blood purifier, septic, anti-aging. It is used for treatment of cold, insect stings, inflammation, liver, and many other things.
Oh, okay.
VASAKA, and there is powder available, lot of thing available.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah.
kada is very popular in North. Kada, so we know a lot of homes have it. Yeah.
Kada. Kada also I do not know. What is kada? It's a
Kara means keep boiling. That mixture he's talking about.
we call it kashaya, I think.
Katha, same thing. Yeah.
Kashaya, we say.
Kashaya,
Boil
yes.
the powder
Kashaya rasa.
nicely to drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will try it because I'm suffering since last Ekadashi. Since last Ekadashi, one day before Ekadashi, now 15 days are over. Anyway, I'm now much better. I will now try. I'll now try these things and.
So, Mataji, I read one more thing. It says it is
Uh,
also highly effective in treating asthma, bronchitis, sinuses, and other respiratory illnesses. Prepare a decoction of Vasaka leaves by boiling it in water. Add a spoonful of honey and drink this concoction daily to prevent respiratory infections.
okay.
Yeah.
I will have to buy it because I never have had it now. Yeah, ginger tea, one thing, it may work. I will start making it from today again. That and then I'll buy this and keep. And if not for this, if I get cured with ginger tea, fine. If I didn't get, then I'll start having that as well. For me, somehow.
The important part, Mataji, with ginger is that you need to press it with something so that the juice comes out. You know, sometimes even if you boil, the juice doesn't necessarily come. So what I do on the, with that belna that you make roti, that you press it on that so that it becomes loose. Then when you boil it, it's easy for the juice to come in the water.
I grate it, Mataji. I grate it and boil. I eat up the gratings at the end.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's all right. Thank you so much for reminding me and for informing me about Vasaka leaves also. So I will try and I hope I'll get well soon. I'm good. Turmeric is really helping me actually.
अभी मैं कविता जी की वेट कर रही थी. She's gone somewhere.
Let's chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Mataji for her good health and also Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hope you feel better. Lots of
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hope you feel
later also.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hope you feel better and serve the devotees from Mayapur, baby.
Yes, tomorrow they are coming. They are from our tourism department, you know, na? Gopijan Vallabh Prabhu and family.
Yes.
Okay.
You will be definitely better, Mataji, with Lord Krishna.
Yes, thank you so much.
and Mataji, please offer a Dhanur Pranam to your parents and all the elders in the family.
Oh, yes, I will. I will.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
will. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Kripabhyasya kripasindhubhyeva Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Antakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Samrit Madhvi Mataji ki jai.
Jai.
Yeah.
All glories to Assembled Devotees.